Hello everyone, Jacques from Dapper Shaves. We're going to do another shave video today. We'll get into the gear quickly. I've had a request around lathering, how I make lather, so we're going to step through that. So that's going to be the first bit. I'm going to be using Fernando's fantastic Miyagi soap, which he made for DLC Yucky. The brush I'm going to use, Simpson Commodore 3X, and the razor is a continuation of my series of the Saito SK extreme smiling range of razors. This one, as you can see, is the SK3. This is the one with the least amount of smile on it. A nice thick belly, like I enjoy them. It's got jumps at the bottom, no jumps at the top, and it's essentially a 7th, 8th size razor. So that's what we're going to be using. This is 3 days beard growth. It's been a long couple of days, so I'm going to really take my time, relax, enjoy the shave, and get ready for tomorrow. So, there's 2 ways you can load soap. You can, or lather. You can either use a bowl, or you can do it on your face. If you do a wet load, and I'll explain a wet load now, a bowl is more appropriate because you're going to struggle, or you can load damp, and that typically is a face lather. Right, so here's a brush that's been soaking in water. So if I apply pressure to it and it splays, it will start dumping the water that it's got in the core. Okay, so when you start working a soap puck, it's going to release all that water. So this for me is a wet load. Okay, there's still lots of water coming out of this knot. A damp load is with nearly all of the water out, so that when you do this, there's very little water coming out. Now the reason for that is going to be quite obvious. If you've got lots of water, you're going to have it runny and all bubbly, the first bit. So that you want to catch in a bowl. A lot of people scoop soap out and then put it in a bowl and then lather it that way. But I quickly want to show you an alternative, the puck. We are going to load wet, so as I splay, you'll immediately see this coming out. So what we're going to do is, I'm just doing it here on the side, and I'm catching a lot of that soap suds and water that's dripping into the bowl. Now this you can use as a pre-shave on your face if you want to, or you can just continue loading, catching what you can, and then making your lather in the bowl. Or you can face lather, and I'm going to demonstrate face lathering. You'll see this was now a wet brush, but a lot of that water in the initial soap suds came off. Now you've got a lot here. People will continue adding this to their bowl, but what I do is I just add it to my face as a holding area. And now that most of the water is out, we can continue loading soap. So there's fundamentally 2 mistakes people make when they attempt to make lather. One is they load too little product, or they use too little water, or both. So the very first thing you need to do is, irrespective if you load wet or damp, you need to make sure that you get enough product out so that you can make a nice hydrated lather. So I've popped a lot of the soap on my face, which typically would be in the bowl. You're going to do a final little load here and then we're going to start massaging the soap into the core of the brush. So maybe on brush dynamics, when you've got soap on the brush and you start working it, the bristles will push the soap to the outside. So once the soap gets to the outside, I work it through the core again, and that's how we mix, like a concrete mixer. The soaps come to the outside, I roll it off, work it into the core, and make sure all of the soap and all of the water that is available gets mixed properly. Now if you've loaded enough product, you would have a nice creamy paste going. And once you're there and you've got enough of this, and this brush is puffed and hydrated with that load, now you can start adding water. So what I do is I just throw water on top of the brush and then apply it across the paste I have, and then slowly start working the soap again and mixing everything through the core. And I continue with that until I get a nice hydrated lather, which is stable and very wet. So we're going to work this through the core again. You can see this brush keeps blooming. I'm going to add some water on there, and we are going to now start painting. Now if you've got a good quality soap and you've loaded enough of product and you've started adding water, you would start getting this nice, stretchy, hydrated substance. And this soap I know can take a lot of water. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a bit more. So I say one of the biggest mistakes folk make is loading too little soap and using too little water. It's either too pasty or too runny. And once you've got enough load on there, as I say, it can really take a lot of soap, a lot of water. So it's difficult to make mistakes once you've got a nice heavy load going with lots of water. Okay. So part of the 3, I didn't even use what we had in here, but this potentially could also have added, and this actually would make a very nice pre-shave which you can put in your face while you make your lather. So 3 days growth, and this is partly to answer a question somebody had. Is it best to shave every day or every 2 or 3 days? And does the skin behave easier when you shave only twice a week versus daily? I hope I portrayed that correctly. So people say if I shave daily, then I get irritation. And my beard feels coarser, more difficult to cut. If I shave only every 3rd day, then it's easier. So I've done this exercise many times. For me, there's really no difference if this is done correctly and the blade sharp. You're going to have a great shave. So why people might think it's better after 3 days Well, obviously your skin gets a bit of time to recover and hydrate up. Having said that, if you've got a sharp blade, good technique, the rest really doesn't matter. Just do your prep and off we go. So by now you know I really enjoy these razors. You can see it shaves well. Essentially against the grain, 3 days growth, no problem. And I want to see how close I can get. In one pass. So over time I used to put the edge on this razor. Really a classed act. Really buttery smooth edges. I'm still out with the jury as to what's the difference between this and the black arc with the Asano Naguras. I personally think it's very very close. The Iwatani is obviously a lot quicker than the slow arc. So if speed's important, then maybe the arc's not for you. But either way, this is how I grip this razor. It just somehow works. I don't know how I even got there, but in any case. So what we'll do is, I'll quickly show you when I'm done here. The full set. So this is the SK3. There we go, SK3. I'm going to put that down. And then I want to clean my hands. So here we go. Up next, here's the SK2. As I say, here's the SK1. Yeah. That's the SK3. And then here is the SK1 on top. There we go. One big happy family. Alright, so let me just put these two away. So that's the entire range. So here I was sloppy. I can feel a couple of hairs, and against the grain here, the difficult area, a couple of hairs. At the sidey, and here on my lip I could have done slightly better. Otherwise it's BBS. 3 days gone with a straight razor. So the question again, is there a difference between 3 days, 1 day type of beard? Does it cut easier? No, I don't believe so. Things that will make a difference is recovery time of your skin, the condition of it. Typically for me, if I've got a bit of beard, it's typically indication that I've also neglected my skin. So for me, if I don't shave daily, and maybe every second day, I'm more likely to have a weeper or two, because I might have a bump starting to develop an issue which I didn't look after because of the stubble. But yeah, otherwise, no difference. Good quality straight razor does not discriminate between 1 day, 2 days, 5 weeks, 10 years of beard. When it makes contact at the skin, it will cut the hair off clean. So once again, thank you for the Patreon that made these razors available. You're thoroughly going to enjoy the shaves. Other than Kurat, and a couple of other razors, these are definitely my favorite. I've said before, they shave really easy, more challenging to hone. Here, that's more likely to happen for me if I don't shave regularly. And really, this razor is trying to hunt to find any hairs left. Really fantastic edges. So the pair I've showed you was Saito razors. SK 1, 2 and 3. But there were also other manufacturers, like I've spoken in my previous video when I did the SK3 shave. I'll link it here. And that is the old historical brand Takahani, which in 1941 became Kikubushi. And so they also marketed these razors, but not as SK 1 and 2, but with the specific model numbers. So as an example, this one, you will see, I hope you can, Kikubushi hammered on the tang. Okay, and then it just says the model number 152 and R Saito. I hope you guys can see that. I haven't got my glasses on. This camera typically is good. And then the Kikubushi on there. So this is a different variant of exactly the same blank, just ground and made by somebody else. Yeah, I didn't expect anything else. Silky, silky, silky smooth. BBS very happy. 3 days beard growth gone. So I've still got soap left here. I want to get some fresh water, rinse my face, and then add the rest of the soap as my post shave. This was a limited run. If you can find it, great soap. Not great soap, exceptional soap. World class top soap. World class beater. Really love it. What else can we say? You guys know my post shave. I'm going to show you some of the other products I use from time to time. So the brush is rinsed out. Here we go, nice and clean. By the way, do not hang a brush upside down in a stand to let it dry. Evaporation goes upwards. If you leave the brush upside down, and you can do this test if you don't believe me, it's going to take a lot longer to dry than you leave the brush standing straight up. People think the water runs back into the knot. That does not happen. So give it a try, let me know what you think. The razor, very warm water, stropping motion with the fingers both sides of the edge to make sure I get rid of any soap residue. Wash out soap in between the scales. You can see it's full of water. You give that a quick shake out, and then hair dryer treatment. You'll see it's clean, but there would still be a little bit of water in there. Open in a safe place where it can vent a bit to get rid of the little bit of heat that's in there, maybe a little bit of water evaporation damp that might still be on there, and then we'll strop and put it away. Just want to wash all of these hairs out the sink. And then some fresh cold water for me to rinse my face. Very good. So, I'm going to be using grooming department's hydration gel, nothing new here. I use 4 squirts. Apply it liberally, massage it really nice into the skin. Baby's bums. I think I'm gonna cuddle the missus now. That's nice and soft. So the other only two products I really use in my arsenal. I use an eye gel. This is from Average Lane, and it's what the missus issues me with. And that is just to keep the eyes nice and hydrated, and it makes them, I don't know, a little bit more, it fills them with collagen and some other stuff. I call it, makes them puffy. So it gets rid of those wrinkles and that sagginess. And I use that also quite liberally, not every day, some of the days. And then the only other thing I use, which I'm not going to show now, and that's also available now through the store here, Sunsilk, or through the salon, Sunsilk SPF 50, I've spoken about this, very good one. And then also the entire Average Lane range. Here's a probiotic, hydration masks, used gel. There's a whole index of products, but for the guys, I think the eye gel is fantastic, and then also the youth gel for cuts, nicks, insect bites, and irritated skin. This works very, very well. And then the sunscreen. So I'm done with my shave. Once again, thank you for joining me, watching this video. Hope you found something useful. And these razors are fantastic. Look out for MSC soaps. They are really incredible. See you guys later.